Hello, everyone. I just wanted to take a couple of moments to talk about el señor Willie Estrada. From what I understood back in the day, from a company called Latin Empire Entertainment. I believe that's what it was called when I was signed to him. I recently found out, I think it was Friday, that he had passed away in January. And I didn't know, unfortunately. And I just felt like he deserved for me to have this moment to say a few words in his honor, because he was my first professional official music manager when I moved to Florida in 2010. And if it wasn't for him, the songs that we're hearing in the background, a lot of the songs that I've performed throughout the years were because of him. Long story short, well, it's going to be long even though I say short. I met Willie through MySpace. I had gone to Puerto Rico to, I think it was my grandmother's funeral, and I met La India, La Princesa de la Salsa. And when I got home, and this is my over the hill senior memory, like I'm not 100% sure of the facts, but I think this is pretty accurate. When I got home, I remember going to her MySpace and seeing him in her top 3 because he was her booking agent. And I was still looking for help and ways to, make my dream come true at that time. I was like 27, a long time ago. And I messaged him. And unbeknown to me, and he didn't have to, because a lot of people in this industry, if you don't have a name, they just ignore you. Willie answered me. And at that time, you know how you could put songs on your profile for MySpace? I had some songs that I had covered on my music profile. And it was Jennifer Hudson's One Night Only from Dreamgirls, and which I recently posted, ironically, and performed recently at Pride. That was the song I had. And apparently he was impressed. He was really impressed. And I don't remember what the reason was that we couldn't work together at that time. I think it was because the directionality that I was trying to go, or I didn't have a budget or something like that. Fast forward a few months later, and some of the circumstances changed, and I was able to hit him up again. And he was like, okay, so what are you trying to do? And at that time, I had just seen El Cantante with J-Lo and Mark Anthony. And I was just really, really moved by salsa and merengue, bachata, and, all of that, having grown up with it, of course. But then seeing this film, and it just catapulted this passion into another direction. And I hit him up and I said, well, I want to do a tropical album. And that's when Willie gave me Isidro Infante's information. Isidro Infante, who's worked with, Celia Cruz, La India, Fania All-Stars. And he connected me to Isidro. And through that connection, I was able to make my first album. And therefore, tour and make videos and, that was my life for a good 10 to 15 years, and it was all because Willie gave me an opportunity that not necessarily everybody was going to, because I had no name. I had no budget at the time when I first reached out to him. And he just went based on my talent. Willie was my manager when I decided to finally release my project, because the project was done in like 2008, and Isidro wanted to hold off for a while, but I kept waiting. I was finally like, this is the time, I need to do this now. So after like 2 or 3 years of like silence, we finally pushed it out, and Willie signed on as my manager, my first music manager. And unfortunately, things didn't work out. it's water under the bridge, and we made up, and we stayed in touch for a while. But yeah, he helped me, meet my first photographer, and get my first video done, and had my first couple shows, which was opening for Extreme, which was a bachata duo from the 2000s and the 90s. And the one thing I have to point out, other than him taking a chance on me when I had no name and just going based on my talent, was I told Willie that I was gay. And here's this, older gentleman from New York, probably is used to a different type of, relationship with his clients, and he didn't care. He did not care. And it was never one of those things where he was like, you can't talk about that and hide it and keep it a secret. And he said, if it comes up, it comes up. If it doesn't come up, don't worry about it. And he let me lead with my talent and my personality. And I'll never forget that. As to where with other people that I worked with after him, it was like, no, don't say anything yet, or not yet, or wait until we, whatever. Like, Willie didn't care. It was all about my instrument. It was about the record that we were making. And I'll never forget that. So I think that's the main reason that I wanted to make this, because I wanted to say thank you, Willie, for giving me a chance, believing in me, and for not making me change who I am, actually. And for helping me make a dream album. And just so many stories that I could tell you about that time that I spent with him as my manager. I just remember a lot of phone calls, and talking about, our mothers, and, his experiences with the hustle in New York, and everybody he knows. And he was definitely one of a kind. And I was definitely sad to hear that he had left us, but he left his mark. And he was appreciated. And I was so glad that he was on that Netflix show. I think it's called The Get Down. That he was able to be in that show and represent everything that he, experienced, in his life in New York. So, anyways, I'm gonna shut up because I could probably go on for another hour. But again, thank you, Willie, for giving me a shot and for letting me be Brian Michael. And I hope that you rest in peace. And again, thank you for everything that you gave to us while you were here. Bye, guys.